press release, also known as a news release. Those are used interchangeably, and I'll talk about that during the lecture. But also, we're going to look at, our book calls it like writing for the web and digital writing. We're really looking at how we will integrate social media into our larger public relations strategy. So with that, I have two chapters for you to read this week. They're both from your course text. It's chapters 5 and chapters 12. I've also had a couple questions about course reserves, and those are actually books you have to go access in the library, so they're not available through the link. They're not electronic sources. So they are available to you, but you have to go over to the main library on campus. You have two short other readings. These are both drawn from very prominent PR blogs and written by public relations experts, so practitioners who are currently using and advising clients on Twitter and Instagram. You'll see this week you will actually start to tweet on behalf of your client, and next week you're going to work on and submit your Instagram posts. So a busy week for us. With Twitter and Instagram both, but especially with Twitter, the reason we start right now in week 4, and we'll go all the way through week 8, which is our last week. So you will be tweeting 4 times that last week, as you will in weeks 4, 5, 6, and 7. And a lot of times, particularly for those of you who are traditional college age, there's an assumption that, of course, you know how to use social media, but maybe you don't know how to use it in a strategic, prolonged manner. I think that's the assumption that a number of employers wrongly make. So that's the reason why I'm asking you to tweet. You're going to be considered for full credit when you're done with the assignment, a minimum of 4 tweets a week on at least 2 separate days. So that means on Tuesday you can tweet twice, and on Thursday you can tweet twice. And so there you have your 2 separate days, a grand total of 4 tweets. But it doesn't mean that you can log on Monday, quickly rattle off 4 tweets and say, okay, I'm going to get full credit this week. And again, that's because everything I've designed in this class is with you creating a strong electronic portfolio, so that job seeking purposes or promotion purposes, that you're well positioned there. So with that in mind, I want you to think, everything will go back to our client research report now. And what are those goals and the objectives that you set during that particular week? And we're going to return to that. So I want you thinking about that when you write a press release this week, and then also as you begin tweeting on behalf of your client. What's really important here is that even though some of you are currently employed by your course clients or interning for the organization you selected, this is done for the purposes of class, and therefore these tweets need to be protected, right? So you need to log into your account settings and go into protect my tweets. What this will mean for some of you, especially those of you who are avid Twitter users, you will likely want to create a new ID for purposes of this class. Because otherwise, what you are tweeting isn't going to be going out to your followers, right? Because your tweets are going to be protected. The other thing is, so once you decide on whatever username you're going to use for purposes of this class, I want you then to follow me at Dr. Leah O. It's one I set up for these PR classes in particular, so that I'm following you along the way. I can provide some guidance if necessary, but at the very least, we're connected that way. So that is what you will begin doing this week. In week 8, you are going to submit to me a PDF or some other format where I can see all of your tweets, the days and times, and these are also going to be displayed in whatever method you choose on your ePortfolio. What you will actually turn in this week, though, is a copy of the press release. And again, that goes to Dropbox, as everything else has this semester. The press release is very formulaic. I'm going to mention this when you listen to the lecture this week. I've mentioned it a number of times. But those who write the best press releases are those who use objective language and mind the format of the press release template. You can see there's typically 5 paragraphs. There are a number of style elements that need to be included in order for people to see it as a legitimate press release. And so this is one, it's not necessarily a challenging assignment, but there are a lot of small details. So I want you to make sure that you go back before you submit it. Make sure you're going back through the readings. Make sure you're going back through your textbook. I have a couple of other documents in our module this week that are designed to help you out so that you don't lose points unnecessarily just for small errors. And I've also posted a couple examples that students have used in the past in this class, which will hopefully help you out. The other thing I want you to think about is that if you're working with a large client, right, a client who has a large online presence, look at what their press releases look like on their website, right? So you always have that ability in order to go and see what they as an organization are currently issuing on behalf of themselves. As always, remember I'm here if you have any questions, and I'm happy to look at drafts. Give me 24 to 48 hours ahead of time so that I can give you feedback. Okay, well, thank you, and here's to a great week.